Today I have a very special guest appearance on Round the Clock Frights. This is Koto, my little demon hound. He is a Welsh Corgi and he begged me to be on camera today. So Koto, first question for you. What is your all-time favorite horror film? Not up to talking much today, I see. But if I were to guess, is your favorite horror film Dog Soldiers? It is the month of April, and you know what that means. Sadly, we still have 6 months left until the month of October, which is the best time of the year, but I don't have any new movies to review, at least not until the end of this month when Renfield and Evil Dead Rise come out. So today, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you guys all the things that are in my horror collection. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I don't have the biggest horror collection in the world. I mean, I have a very modest, small collection. I'm not bathing in bathtubs full of $100 bills. Although I am bathing in bathtubs full of tears because I wish I had that much money. Anyway guys, every item here has a story behind it. I've collected some really cool things over the years, and my filming space is a bit smaller than it used to be because I've changed locations and I'm not able to use, everything that I own. Some stuff is currently in storage. A lot of my masks that I have used in some comedic sketches are currently, locked away in a storage bin somewhere, but I still have some pretty cool stuff on display here, and I thought I would show them off to you guys and, give you a little history, just so you guys get to know a little bit more about me and my horror background. So let's not waste any more time, guys. Let's go ahead and get started, starting with some of the stuff here on this very top shelf, which you can't really see on camera, but I'm going to go ahead and take the stuff down here to show you real quick. Starting with this freaky mask right here. So about a year ago, me and my wife wanted to make a short film together because we hadn't made anything in a while. I came up with an idea for a short film called Out of the Grid. It's about this cynical, jaded online gamer who gets invited to play this indie horror game, and let's just say things go wrong. And if you'd like to check that short film out, guys, I will leave a link for you down below. So yes, I wanted a really cool, freaky looking mask. I searched the depths of Etsy, a very scary online website, and I found this one guy, this really talented, amazing artist who makes these custom made masks, and I reached out to him and I asked him if I could use one of these in a short film, and he graciously said yes. I was very thankful to him. This is a really cool mask. I mean, it's a little bit cracked because my goddaughter is the one who played the villain in the horror film, and she had a little bit too much fun with it. She actually hid it in her bedroom. She kept it from me for a long time. There was actually a period where I had no idea where this mask was, but it turns out she was actually keeping it in her closet, so I'm glad she enjoyed herself. But yes, this is the mask the villain in that film wears, and it's just so dang cool. I love the design of this thing. So thank you so much to the Etsy artist. I am very, very grateful. Okay, so there's this local event called Phoenix Fan Fusion. It's the Arizona equivalent of Comic-Con in San Diego, and I found this painting at one of the booths there, and I just fell in love immediately. This is such a cool painting. It has some really iconic horror characters. The detail in this is absolutely incredible. I mean, just looking at Michael Myers' face, I mean, it looks true to life. And some of my favorite horror characters are actually featured in this painting. You got Sam from Trick or Treat, you have Elvira, you have the Crypt Keeper, you have good old Chucky. Many of my favorite characters are featured, prominently in this painting, so I just had to pick it up. And actually, when I first started the channel Round the Clock Frights, this was my initial background. When you look at some of my first videos, this was the background that I used because I just thought it was so cool and I wanted to put it in my videos. I wanted to show it off for you guys. And sadly, you can't really see it in my newer videos because I keep it on the very, very top shelf, but I like having it around because it holds a very, very special place in my heart. The artist did such an incredible job with this. Okay, one more item here, and then I'm actually gonna switch to a point of view shot. So this is a Raccoon City sign, home of the Umbrella Corporation. This sign, there's actually a really funny story that goes along with this. So at that same event, Fan Fusion, there was a panel called Horror Jeopardy, and I had to go because I love me some Jeopardy. I love watching it on TV, and I knew I just had to be one of the contestants. So I went there, and there was a decent crowd of people, all of them obviously horror fans, and this was the grand prize for the person who would win that specific round of Jeopardy. So I sat in the front row, I'm bouncing up and down in my chair like a little kid. My wife is rolling her eyes at me because I'm just acting totally immature. But as soon as they asked for volunteers, I raised my hand in the air and I practically rushed up on stage, They couldn't stop me. They had to call security, actually. No, they didn't. I'm just kidding. I'm just joshing around. But yes, I played a round of Jeopardy against 2 other horror fans, and let's just say that I answered almost every single question correctly because the people that I played with were a bit younger, and they obviously hadn't seen as many horror fans as a seasoned vet like myself. Yeah, I demolished that round of Jeopardy. I actually felt kind of bad because there are a couple of questions I didn't know the answer to, mostly regarding video game questions, but I barely gave those kids a chance to answer because, every time just my hand was in the air. I couldn't help it. I knew all the answers, so I ended up getting thousands of points during that game, and yeah, even the host, he was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, give these kids a chance. And I felt bad, but you know what? I mean, this grand prize, it looked cool. I wanted to put it in my background, and yeah, I'm glad that I partook in that game because I like having this sign in the background, and I love the Resident Evil games. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of this one. All right, switching to point of view here. I feel like I'm making a handheld, found footage film here. It's kind of freaky. But yes, on this shelf we have a little gremlin figure here. I better not get it wet, otherwise it might multiply. Although, to my understanding, when humans get wet, they also multiply. Over here we have a plastic poison vial. I actually have some items that my mom made for me. She made this herself. She got materials at Hobby Lobby, and she put the poison logo on there. That's pretty cool. Over here we have a replica of the SS Georgie, the paper boat that the character Georgie uses at the beginning of the 2017 film It. Moving down here to this shelf right here. Let me get the things in focus. We have some more horror figurines here. We have a very, very good looking Freddy Krueger here. And we have a Ghostface. Although this freaking guy has fallen over, many times. I'll sometimes be making something in the kitchen, and then all of a sudden I'll hear a thud in the other room, and it's because this guy refuses to stand up straight. Oh, and a quick funny story about this Freddy Krueger figure here. I actually used to have a Freddy Krueger figurine that was based off of the Nightmare on Elm Street video game, the NES game from the 80s. And the funny thing is, I actually used that figurine in a video, and under his shirt he had an astounding six-pack, so he had a pretty rockin' beach bod, so I had to show that off in the video because I actually thought that was kind of funny. But, this figurine here is much closer to the actual movie character, and yeah, he looks pretty unhappy. He's ready to see you in his dreams. A couple more really awesome figurines here. We have Sam from Trick or Treat. He has his little lollipop in his hand there. He's ready to slice some people with it. We have Jason from Friday the 13th Part 6, which is one of the better sequels in the series. And, he has some cool weapons on him. He has his, little machete. He has, a spear that he uses on several people in that movie. So I really love these figurines because the company that made them, they did a really, really good job of getting the details right. I mean, these look like, miniature versions of the movie characters. They're just so well made. I love them to death. A couple more characters back here. We have Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise. He's holding a little balloon there, although that balloon slides out of his hand all the time. It really gets, under my skin. So I just, position it in a way where he's able to hold it better and it's not constantly falling out of his hand. My all-time horror villain, I put him in the back because he seems to stand better back there. He has better balance, so I put him in the back there, although he is my all-time favorite horror movie villain. And then we have a Xenomorph kind of lurking in the shadows back there, just kind of hanging around. Maybe he's looking for the Predator. Maybe he wants to make another Versus movie. You never know. Then over here, you have a typical Jason mask. I've used that on my wife several times. I'll just wake her up in the middle of the night, and I'll be wearing that just to, just for shits and giggles. I'm just kidding. I would never do that to you, hon. I love you with all my heart. Please, yeah, please don't kick me out of the bedroom. This item over here, this is another item that my mother made from scratch. You know, she got all these materials and, you know, put them together. She actually put the skull inside this plastic ball. You know, she filled it with fake cobwebs and spiders, and it's just so artistic and cool looking. She also put like this mesh around the skull. That also looks pretty cool. And then at the bottom, she glued some plastic spiders, you know, on there, onto the base. Painted some rust on there. So yeah, good job, Mom. You're a really good artist, and yeah, I just love putting your stuff like in the background because these are very unique. And obviously no one else owns these, so yeah, I'm proud to have them. Okay, so I only own a couple of more Blu-rays because, you know, finances have been a bit tight lately. I used to have a much bigger horror Blu-ray collection, but I had to sell most of those because, you know, you do what you can to get by, but I did keep these because these were very special gifts. We have the Friday the 13th collection. You know, all the films are included in the set, including Freddy vs. Jason, one of the better installments in the Friday the 13th franchise. And then over here you have the classic Universal black and white films. You know, my all-time favorite black and white horror film is The Wolfman, starring Lon Chaney Jr. Just utterly fantastic. I mean, you can't go wrong with these. I mean, these are all staples. I mean, they're even going strong today. You know, we have Renfield coming out with Nicolas Cage, which is an homage to the Lugosi Dracula, at least from what I've seen in the trailer. So, yeah, that's very exciting. The Scream Factory Edition of Trick or Treat. I love that, like, I love the art on that cover. You know, it's fantastic. It kind of looks like a Drew Struzan poster. You know, something that he might have created back in the day. And I love the Scream Factory Blu-rays. And I just gotta be honest, guys, I do plan to, you know, get more Blu-rays in the future. You know, like I said, you do what you can to get by, and I sadly don't own as many Blu-rays as I used to, but yeah, I held on to the ones that are very, you know, very special to me. Talk about random, I have a couple of mismatched Friday the 13th socks. I have a black one here, I have a blue one as well. You know, this is something that I wear, you know, all the time. It keeps my toes nice and comfy, and yeah. I mean, when I think of comfort, I just think of Jason Voorhees and his, you know, bloody machete. That just screams comfort to me. Doesn't it to you guys? Speaking of Friday the 13th, I have a couple of mini shot glasses here that my sister gifted to me. I think these are pretty cool. I've never actually put any alcohol in them, but yeah, I'll probably use them sometime, you know, when I have game night or something with my friends. This is something I've had for a very, very long time. This is a Jack Skellington mug. I actually purchased this at Disney World, like, probably over a decade ago. I mean, I've had this for a long time. And yes, I have drank, you know, juices out of it and such. And it just makes me feel fancy because it's a really cool looking goblet. It's made of, you know, it's a ceramic, and, you know, the other side has a different facial expression, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I'm also a big Disney fan, so I had to put something Disney related in here as well. Over here we have a little Pennywise plush, which I've used in several videos. I've actually abused this thing on camera before. I've thrown it across the room, and yeah, I still collect plushies because, yeah, they make me happy. I'm not gonna apologize for that. This thing here is pretty cool. This is a pen that my sister got me as a birthday present, and I actually haven't opened it yet because I just love the packaging, but yeah, it has, you know, Jason's, you know, face here on the box, which is pretty cool. I'll probably open it one day, but to be honest, I just kind of like the way that it looks, you know, in the packaging. So yeah, it has the Friday the 13th logo on there, you know, which is pretty cool. So yeah, a couple more cool things. I have a horror trivia game, you know, sitting right there. Also fun for game nights. I have a Blair Witch pin, which I actually got when the 2016 Blair Witch came out. I have held on to that and I haven't opened it because, yeah, I just like the way that it looks in the packaging. And, you know, Blair Witch 2016 wasn't a film that I particularly liked, but yeah, I think having a pin is pretty cool, you know, of the pin of the stick figure. We have just an Elm Street sign, you know, right here that I decided to put on the shelf because, you know, it looks, you know, pretty neat sitting there. These wall stickies that I found at a local used records place called Zia Records. You know, I've had these for a couple of years, and, you know, I never want to get rid of them because, you know, they're cartoon caricatures of classic Universal monsters, and I love having them I love having them in the background. They're just so cool looking. I actually have one of Lon Chaney's Phantom of the Opera sitting on a shelf, but yeah, these were the ones that I could, you know, fit on the wall. These were the only ones that I could put on here. So yeah, I'm a really big fan of, you know, classic black and white horror films, so I had to put these on the wall because, you know, they just look amazing, and they add more color to my background. This Jack Skellington wreath, this is another item that my mother made from scratch, and it is absolutely spellbinding. I mean, she bought this like Jack Skellington mask online, and then she, you know, bought all this other fabric at Hobby Lobby, and she turned it into this really amazing Nightmare Before Christmas wreath. I mean, this is pure craftsmanship right here. I mean, I wish I was this artistic. I really do. I wish I was, but yeah. Even has a little zero sitting at the top there, which is like really cute. It has a little ghost, although it is missing a piece because we recently moved, and I had to shove this in a tub, and it originally had like a plastic spider, you know, glued right here, but unfortunately that fell off and I couldn't find it, so that's missing. But everything else remained intact, and yeah, this is very unique, and obviously no one owns a wreath like this, so I am very, very happy to have it in my background. And of course this guy, he's a round-the-clock fright staple. This is Russell Scarecrow. My friend Thor doesn't want me to call him that, but you know what? I just think it's a funny name. He has been featured in many, many videos. Honestly, going back to probably 2019, you know, he's been around for a long time. When I actually bought him, you know, this was not the head that came with it. You know, the head that originally came with this Scarecrow, you know, figure actually fell off. I had to throw it in the garbage, but you know, I just stuck a random Scarecrow mask on top, and honestly, it fits pretty well, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. I mean, yeah, Russell Scarecrow, ladies and gentlemen, he's like, I would say he's the official Round the Clock Frights mascot. So there you have it, boils and ghouls, my little horror collection. Now, like I said earlier in the video, I don't own a ton of stuff, but I'm happy with what I have. And I'm sure I'll continue collecting over the years. I actually just went to this amazing store in Chandler, Arizona called Terror Trader. They had a lot of incredible merchandise on sale, and I would love to get my hands on some of that. You know, obviously, I'm a horror fan for life, and I'm always looking for new stuff to put in my background, so yes, I'm sure I will go out and spend all my money at that store because, yeah, no shame. I like collecting this stuff. Thank you so much for joining me in this video, guys. I had a lot of fun talking to you about my horror collection, you know, showing off all my stuff to you guys, and oh, look, Kodo's back. I think he wants to be on camera again. Or not. He just want to come over and say hi, I guess. I don't think he likes that Scarecrow. Thank you so much again for joining me, guys. If you liked what you saw here, please subscribe to my channel, Round the Clock Frights. Just hit that little button, you know, down at the bottom there. I really appreciate your support. We have some awesome new horror movies coming out very soon. I can't wait to see like everything that's coming out the rest of 2023. But yes, guys, have a very scary day, and please stay safe out there. And I will see you again next time. This is Joshua Essenberg signing out. I'm trying to sound like a Rod Serling. I'm not as cool as him, I understand, but I try.